our topic is really more on archetypes, but I really wanted to emphasize na branding is very important, the most important thing sa business natin. Kasi it's what sets you apart. That's why creators today are being hired by popular or established brands kasi nga branding is the edge that you need in order to really succeed sa entrepreneur landscape ngayon. Diba? Ready na ba kayo? Can you type in the chat kung ready ba kayo? Type ready. O ready na ba kayo sa ano natin, sa topic natin today? Obvious naman dyan, di ba, na our topic for today is really about archetypes and how we can use it to sharpen your strategic edge when it comes to branding. So, ayan. Oy, ready na. Ready na si Ange, ready na si Janine. Ayan, ready na lahat. Sige. So, let's start with bakit tayo nandito and why are we talking about this? So, welcome pala to our hindi ko na alam anong number ng episode to the Y Forward live stream and podcast. But today we're going to again discuss about brand archetypes and how we can use it to have our own strategic edge when it comes to branding, whether it's your personal brand, whether it's your business brand, product brand, or anong brand ba yung gusto mong gagawin mo. So, there's this one thing that stuck to me when sino dito may alam about sino yung dito nakakakilala kay Alex Hormozy? Yan, sino? Type 1 kung kilala niyo siya. Alex Hormozy. Who else? Alex Hormozy. Ayun. So Alex Hormozy just recently, I think 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, released his new so shout out pala kay Alex kung nanonood ka, charot. So Alex Hormozy just released his second book, the $100 million leads. And during his launch na webinar, one thing really stuck to me na sinabi niya about branding. Last 2017, he said, "Stop branding, start marketing." Sabi niya. So take action daw kaagad, wag mo nang isipin yung branding, yung logo or colors or ano bang message mo diyan. Just start, take action. Kind of makes sense, right? Diba? So done is better than perfect. But then recently sa launch niya, he said na he was wrong last 2017. Nandun talaga sa screen niya na last 2017 yung tweet niya, stop branding na. But then he changed his mind talaga. During the course of his career, on his success, he really said branding is more than everything sa business niya. So ayun. It's really it's really eye-opening, di ba? Na this guy here who believed a few years ago na hindi importante yung branding, but now he's very successful. He realized that branding is more important than everything else sa business niya. So yeah, I just talked about this because we are branding people here. We help people make their own brands, or we ourselves are trying to build our own brand. Diba? So right now, our topic is really more on archetypes, but I really wanted to emphasize na branding is very important, the most important thing sa business natin. Kasi it's what sets you apart. That's why creators today are being hired by popular or established brands kasi nga branding is the edge that you need in order to really succeed sa entrepreneur landscape ngayon. Whether digital, offline, or whatever is your industry right now. Branding, kahit commodity pa yan, kahit sabon pa yan, kahit gasolina, kahit anong product, kahit anong service, branding will be that extra push or that secret ingredient that will really help you take off. Diba? So, moving forward dito sa presentation natin, ayun. So, if you're failing, kawawa naman 'tong mga tao 'to. So, if you're failing to connect, 'di ba, emotionally with diverse audiences, struggling to differentiate brands in a saturated market, trouble aligning your messaging with your core values, so you need to really work on your brand strategy or your branding, 'di ba? And one of the ways to really start to connect with your audience is to find a person or I mean, yeah, ha- find a way to personify yung brand or yung business mo into someone that your target audience relates to. So why is it na kailangan natin gawin 'yon? Kasi as human beings, 'di ba? We have always tried to um connect yung mga human traits or human characteristics to even non-living things. That's why in the past, 'di ba? Whenever there's an event, the lightning itself or the sun or the moon in the stars, we try to connect them to we try to personify them as gods. 'Di ba? Tapos may mga pangalan pa 'tong mga gods na 'to, may mga mukha pa 'to, tapos meron pang mga stories, 'di ba? So that's why, when we try to look back and ask ourselves, what are these archetypes, 'di ba? This personification of things, giving them characteristics, giving them traits, giving them personality. 'Di ba? So for me, um, humans have always tried to link all non-living and living things to to us humans, 'di ba? And that's what Carl Jung, which is the psychologist behind archetypes, 'di ba? Siya yung gumawa ng archetypes. The 12 archetypes specifically, and we will discuss it tonight. Kung ano yung 12 na yun. So, Carl Jung basically parang sinabi niya para best friend kasi sila ni Sigmund Freud. Hindi ako sure kung best friend, but they're really good friends. They're colleagues, and then he was always curious na bakit ba na in all of history, humans always try to personify everything. 'Di ba? Kahit yung mga ano, yung alam niyo ba in Germany, things, non-living things, they have genders. Yung chair is more of the um, male gender. Yung flower is more on the female gender. Remember mga ganyan. It's deeply ingrained sa grammar nila. So there are things na out of this world sa para sa atin, 'di ba? Kasi even things have gender there. And then ano pa naman, 'di ba? Sensitive topic pa naman yung gender. But yeah, it's a difference in culture. And why did people do that? 'Di ba? Why do we try to um link the color pink as female, 'di ba? Or as feminine? Why do we connect the color blue as male or men? Ba? Bakit kung merong gender reveal sa mga babies, ganun yung color? So, Carl Jung kind of, I was curious about why are people like this. So, during his study and research, he was able to pinpoint, di ba, those personalities that humans always link non-living and living things to. And these are the Jungian archetypes, or as we know them today, the brand archetypes. Diba? So what are these brand archetypes? Ano ba yung mga 12 brand archetypes na to? So the first one that I can describe today is the innocent archetype. So key characteristics niya, kind of naive, romantic, dreamy, optimistic. Ito yung mga ano, parang um, how do we see an innocent person? Parang child, 'di ba? So their strengths are more on they are honest, they have this positive mindset, they're very loyal, and their ideas are somewhat refreshing, 'di ba? And then weaknesses nila is ayun, overly naive, overly optimistic, hindi na nagiging realistic, di ba? And can be perceived as boring or bland. So, ayun. And then workplace habits. So, ito, di ba? We were, a week ago or days ago, we had we tried to, hindi ko alam kung na-try nyo, na meron tayong mga archetypes na chatbot. So, if you tried that, di ba, you would know kung ano yung archetype nyo. So, for people here na innocent yung archetype nyo, workplace habits nyo usually are very positive, optimistic, tends to avoid politics, di ba? Hindi nyo gustong sumali sa politika sa workplace nyo. And then you prefer a stable and harmonious workplace. So ayun yung mga conflict na yan. Diba? Business ideas, usually you like children's products, healthy foods, charities, and NGOs. Yun nga, kasi you're very idealistic, di ba? Itong mga innocent. So, ideal brand palettes, like light colors, white, pastel, so napaka-innocent, di ba? Yung ano. And you can imagine now, di ba? Na, nga, no? Parang innocent yung dating kong ganun. So, some thought leaders that you can try to research about sa mga innocent na archetypes. Nandyan si Fred Rogers and then si Florence Nightingale. Famous brands naman is Dove, Coca-Cola, and innocent drinks. Innocent drinks? Hindi ko alam to ah. But yeah, Dove, Coca-Cola, and other pa, like mga children's products, like yung diaper, Pampers, ayan, innocent brand yan eh. Diba? So, makikita nyo, diba? Pastel colors, light colors talaga. And the feel is almost very, parang, childlike. Diba? So, that's the innocent archetype. Ayan. And then, next is the explorer. So, the explorer is, ayun, from the word explorer, they love to explore. They're very adventurous. They try to start things, kaya pioneering sila, seeks out and enjoys challenges and very independent. So, ayun, ito yung mga survival, di ba, ng mga tao. So, strengths nila, ambitious, adaptable, ayun, sinabi ko, they're very good at surviving sa mga different environments, very resilient, resourceful, and their weakness could be, yeah, sometimes very reckless or aimless. Kasi na-excite sila sa ano eh, sa parang unknown. So, they could be sometimes thought as aimless. So, they struggle with routine. Ayun, workplace habits, they enjoy problem solving and overcoming challenges. So, they like challenges, di ba? Prefers a flexible and dynamic work environment. So, ayaw nilang matay or ayaw nilang matay sa seat lang nila. If they want to work outside, if they want to work home, work while vacationing, yun yung gusto nila. So business ideas usually are travel agencies, outdoor equipment, fitness brands, adventure sports, and ideal brand palettes are earth tones, blues, and greens. So ayan. Thought leaders that you can think of or famous people are like si Amelia Earhart, Ernest Shackleton. Famous brands are Jeep, the North Face, and Patagonia. Ayun, ito, sumusuot ako nito ng Patagonia. So, yeah, very explorer talaga yung mga brands na to. And yeah, that's the explorer archetype. The next one, the third one is the sage. So, key characteristics ng sage, there are people who are maraming wisdom tong sage eh. So, they're very wise, very knowledgeable. Oftentimes, they try to see, they're very curious. They always seek the truth and napaka-reflective. So strengths nila, they're very highly intelligent, insightful, they're very reliable, values, evidence, and facts. So truth talaga is very important to them. So hindi sila judger, di ba? Hindi sila mga ano. Ayun. Weaknesses is they can be perceived as overly serious, ayun, or pedantic, may be seen as aloof or detached. Workplace habits nila, they value knowledge and expertise. So, ito yung mga taong palagi talagang nag-a-attend ng mga seminar, uh, palaging nagta-try to learn new skills, di ba? Tends to be very analytical and detail-oriented. Business ideas of these people, usually, ayun, siguro mga coaches to eh. Ayun, universities, research organizations, tech companies, mga startups, tech startups, and consultancies. Ayun, ideal brand palette, deep blues, purple, silver, famous people na sage archetype are, ayan, si Marie Curie, Albert Einstein, famous brands, Google, Philips, The Economist, ayan. So, me myself, I try to identify myself as the sage archetype. So, ayun, kitang-kita ko talaga yung weaknesses ko na sometimes overly serious, pedantic, but yeah, my strength, charot, di ba? Yung strength ko is insightful, very analytical, and yeah, that's why I created my own parang formula of brand building. I created my own brand building system, which I call the core formula. So if you're interested, just let us know in the comments kung ano yung core formula, kung gusto niyo malaman kung ano yun, and we'll get back to you later. So, ayan. Next is the hero. Ayan, the hero. Ito yung pinaka-common talaga sa mga stories, the hero archetype. Diba? Key characteristics, very courageous. So ayun, magja-jump in. Kita niyo yung mga yung mga heroes sa anime. Sino bang anime lover dito? Diba? Or mga heroes sa Hollywood, sa Marvel movies, diba? These are the type of people na despite all the odds against them, talagang magja-jump in talaga in front of danger. So very courageous people, very determined and competent, and they're always on a mission. So ayan. Strengths, very brave, di ba? And very inspiring. So these are the type of people na yung kung merong pinaglalaban talaga, ang galing nila mag-speech. So ayan. And they inspire the crowd talaga. Very protective and strong work ethic. Weaknesses though, they can be perceived as overly aggressive. Ayun, very aggressive, especially sa mission nila. If people will parang won't go with them, parang para sa kanya is very frustrating. So or very single-minded, may struggle with ayun, 'di ba? We may struggle with delegation. So heroes usually they lead the pack but sometimes they stray too far from the pack. Parang napakalayo na niya compared to his pack. So sometimes lang 'yun. And then workplace habits, very driven and goal oriented, tends to take on challenges head on. So yun, 'di ba sinabi ko kanina, despite all the odds, they are willing to jump into danger, 'di ba? On a moment's notice, like, kahit parang instinct na nila yan eh. So business ideas, sports brands, security companies, luxury and automotive brands. Ideal brand palette, mga reds, blacks, golds, and other strong colors. And thought leaders or famous people that have this archetype, Martin Luther King, um, Malala, ano yun, si Malala, hindi ko na alam yung surname niya. So, para safe, hindi ko ma-butcher yung name. Ayun. Famous brands, Nike, BMW, and Duracell. Grabe, hero pala yung Oo nga, kasi meron silang mascot na, parang, yun yung parang hero, di ba? So, ayun, Nike themselves is parang the leading brand when it comes to the hero mindset. Diba? Yung parang just do it. Huwag mo nang i-overthink. Huwag ka nang diretso ka na. So, ganun yung hero. They take action first before they think. Diba? So, ayun. The next one is somewhat like para sa akin in the 12 archetypes, itong archetype na to, siya yung anti-hero. Pero hindi din siya villain. Which is what we call the outlaw or the rebel. Diba? Key characteristics, very, rebellious, diba? Disruptive, rule-breaking, individualistic. Ayun. So, para sa kanila, they want to be different. Hindi naman to be different. They just want things to, like, If there's something wrong in the way things are being done, they want to do it differently. Ganon yung mga outlaws. Ganon yung mga rebels. So, their strengths are very innovative, very brave, di ba? So, similar sa hero, free thinking and can challenge the status quo. Ayun, ayaw nila yung ano, yung parang normal or ano yung social norm. Diba? If they can make it better, that's what they will do kahit sila yung masama sa paningin ng iba. So, ganun yung mga outlaw. Weaknesses though, they can be perceived as unpredictable or dangerous. Ayun nga, di ba? From the word itself, rebel, di ba? There's connotations on that word na talagang dangerous sila. And may struggle with authority. Ayun, struggle with authority, di ba? So, workplace habits, they tend to challenge established norms and practices, values freedom and independence. So parang magkabaliktad sila ng workplace habit ni Innocent kanina. Kasi si Rebel or si Outlaw mahilig sa conflict. Gusto niya talagang i-challenge yung current company dynamic so that ma-push pa to progress. So the result is either mag-progress or mag-improve talaga or ma-break yung ano yung company. So ganun. And then business ideas, motorcycles, streetwear, music industry, ayan, and ideal brand palette, black, red, and other bold colors. So the colors are quite similar kay ano, kay Hero, di ba? And then thought leaders or people who are the outlaw archetype, Steve Jobs, of course, and then Rosa Parks. Famous brands, Harley Davidson, Virgin, and Diesel. So if you noticed here, di ba, si Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple pero wala dito si Apple sa Rebel na archetype. Have you seen that? So later I will explain bakit ganun. Kasi ayun, in each brand, not necessary na isa lang talaga yung archetype niya. So ayun, there's a dominant archetype but you will not be focused only on one. Diba? You will mix it up. So ayan. Next is eto. Maraming mga content creator na ganito, the jester archetype. So, key characteristics, they have a lot of fun. Very spontaneous, lighthearted, and lives in the moment. So, ito yung mga jester talaga. They're very keen on entertainment. So, ayun. Strengths, di ba? Creative, entertaining, able to see the humor in situations. Sometimes nga, di ba? Kahit hindi dapat tatawa, they still see the humor in that. You know? So weaknesses, ayun, from my example a while ago, can be perceived as lacking in seriousness or responsibility. There are times, di ba, na imbes hindi dapat pagtawanan, di ba, they sometimes see the humor in it. So they may struggle with long-term planning then. Kasi for them, that's very boring or tedious. They just want to have fun. Ito yung mga jesters. So workplace habits, they value fun and creativity, tend to bring levity to the workplace. So parang sila yung energy in a workplace, di ba? The jester archetype. Pinapatawa niya lahat yung mga workmates niya, yung mga team members niya. Ayun. Business ideas, entertainment, social media, toys, comedic content. So, ayun, yun yung mga jester archetype. Ideal brand palette, very bright colors, rainbow patterns. Kasi nga, di ba, everything's fun. Thought leaders, Ellen DeGeneres, Charlie Chaplin, famous brands, Ben and Jerry's, Old Spice, M&M's. So, ayun, sa mga brand pa lang, di ba? M&M's, kita nyo ba yung mga commercials or ads nila? Kahit yung Old Spice, di ba? Ads nila. Very entertaining and fun. So, ganyan yung jester archetype. Ayun, so just a quick break pala sa archetype natin kasi we already discussed 6 archetypes. If you're a strategist pala and you want to discover your unique archetype, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na uh, brand archetype chatbot, AI chatbot. So try to scan this QR code kasi it's a free quiz for you to know kung ano yung archetype mo. And it's powered by AI. So, hindi siya nagiging uniform or something. Diba? So you will be asked a lot of questions, and then you will rank kung ano yung statement sa question na yun, if you agree with that statement or do not disagree, strongly agree, and then the AI will try to determine, di ba, automatically kung ano yung archetype mo. Di ba? So, try it out, guys. So, continuing to our 12 archetypes, and the seventh one is the regular guy or girl. Sometimes this can also be called the everyman. Di ba? So, the key characteristics of this archetype is they are very down to earth, very humble, diba? Empathetic, seeks connection with others. Diba? They try to be ano, like they try to be empathetic towards other people. Parang nakaka-understand sila sa different types of people. Their strengths are very reliable, approachable, friendly, ayun, 'di ba? Understands the common man. They have a very strong sense of common sense. Kasi nga, uh, ayun, parang, ano, they, they empathize easily to any person they meet. So, ganun yung regular guy or girl. Weaknesses. They can be perceived as ordinary or lacking in ambition. May struggle with self-esteem. Ayun, kasi nga, for them, they're ordinary, di ba? They're regular. Regular guy lang. So, for them, parang this is enough sometimes. Hindi na sila ambitious enough. So workplace habits, they value teamwork and collaboration, tends to be a good listener. So ayun, this archetype here also likes harmony in the workplace, teamwork and collaboration. Everyone has a voice, ganun, di ba? So ganun yung mga the regular guy or girl. Business ideas, retail, fast food, household goods. So, yun, nakikita nyo, pang mass market talaga, di ba? For everyone. Di ba? So, ideal brand palette naman, browns, greens, other earth tones. Thought leaders, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, famous brands, IKEA, eBay, Home Depot. So, yun, na-observe nyo, di ba? Most of the brands here, or most of the thought leaders here, so the regular guy or girl, really appeal to the mass market, to everyone, to the common person. Ayan. So next, the magician. Ayan. Key characteristics. Very visionary, charismatic, transformative, makes dreams come true. Charot, di ba? Ganun yung mga magicians. So, their strengths are creative, very inspiring, and able to see the big picture. Kasi nga, visionary sila, di ba? They can see the bigger picture in things. But their weakness could be perceived as very unrealistic or overly idealistic. May struggle with details. Ayun. Ganun yung mga magician. Like, for them, um, they just want the dream. Ayan. How to get to that dream, siguro they need help with that. Ganun yung mga magician. Diba? So, the workplace habits, they value vision and creativity, tends to be a big picture thinker. Business ideas, high-tech companies, luxury brands, entertainment industry. Ideal brand palette, deep purples, gold, starry patterns. Thought leaders, Elon Musk and Walt Disney. Famous brands, Apple, Tesla, Disney. Para sa akin talaga, the ultimate magician na brand, Disney. So, have you seen the Imagineering series? Diba? So, they turned engineers into parang mga magicians. So, ayun. The Imagineers are like a mixture of the magician archetype, and later you'll find the art ay para sa mixture of magician, sage, and then the creator archetype. But yeah, I just mentioned yung Imagineering sa Disney because it's very very amazing, diba? Unbelievable that for an industry, engineering industry, diba? For an industry that's more focused on details, more focused on standards, Disney themselves tried to push that forward by including vision on that industry. So, napakagaling, diba? Especially in their theme parks. So, ganun yung magician. The next one is the lover. Ayun, sino ba yung mga lovers dito? Di ba? So, the lover archetype are very passionate, very appreciative, seeks intimacy, and they value yung ano, yung parang very connected experiences. Yung parang mafe-feel talaga nila yung experience na yan. Their strengths are they're very charming, inspiring, empathetic, and understands human emotions. So they're quite similar sa the regular guy or girl. Diba? The weaknesses though, they can be perceived as superficial or overly emotional. Ayun, they sometimes can be very emotional kasi nga they really want to feel things. Diba? They want to feel the experience and may struggle with objectivity. So ayan. Workplace habits, they value relationships and personal connections. Tends to be emotionally intelligent. So kung yung regular guy or girl kanina, 'di ba, makaka-empathize sila sa others through teamwork, collaboration. Yung the lover naman extends pa from there. Like personal life, friendship, personal connections, ganun, 'di ba? And I think they would work well together. So business ideas, cosmetics, fashion, luxury goods, dating services, ideal brand palettes, reds, pinks, purples, thought leaders, Casanova, Marilyn Monroe, famous brands, Victoria's Secret, Chanel, Godiva. Ayun, Godiva, na-try ko to, napakasarap ng chocolate nito, di ba? So, ayun. These are the lover, this is the lover archetype. And the next one is the caregiver. Ayun. Uh, Their key characteristics are they're very compassionate, generous, nurturing, helps others. So, for me, yung caregiver is parang yung mother natin, di ba? Or yung parents natin. So, their strengths are empathetic, very patient, reliable, great at caregiving. Weaknesses though, they can be perceived as overprotective. Oh, yan. Sino yung mga kahit ngayon, meron pang curfew, kahit graduate na sila, di ba? So, yung mga parents niyo, caregiver, very overprotective. Or self-sacrificing. Ayun, di ba? Sino yung mga self-sacrificing dito? And may struggle with setting boundaries. Yung workplace habits, they value helping others, and making a positive impact tends to be nurturing and supportive. So for me, for people here who are in the tribe, shout out, di ba? Sino yung mga taga TFMT dito? So for me, yung tribe talaga is kind of a mixture of the regular guy, girl, and the caregiver. Diba? Yung coming from a place of help na mantra na ano natin, na hindi naman siya tagline. But yeah, that mindset alone, that's the caregiver mindset. So, business ideas, healthcare, childcare, nonprofits, wellness, ideal brand palette, soft blues, greens, and purples. Thought leaders, Princess Diana, Mother Teresa. So, yun. If you if you notice, di ba, parang mga ano talaga, motherly. Famous brands, Johnson and Johnson, UNICEF, Tom's. So, ito yung caregiver archetype. Di ba? And then next, the ruler. Ayun. Ito yung archetype na to na very authoritative, controlling. Para sa kanila, the keyword is control. They want to rule everything. Very ambitious din. Their strengths are strong, very decisive, very organized, good at creating order. So, ito yung mga manager, di ba? So, their weaknesses though, they can be perceived as domineering or inflexible, di ba? So, sino yung mga client dyan na hindi gusto ng ng flexible para sa inyo? May struggle with empathy. Ayun, workplace habits, values structure and control, tends to be a leader and a decision maker. Business ideas, luxury brands, financial services, technology, airlines, ideal brand palette, royal blues, gold, rich purples, thought leaders, ayan, pangalawa na ni Warren Buffett, Queen Elizabeth II. So if you notice, di ba, pangalawang archetype na nandito si Warren Buffett. Because it's not really parang it's not set in stone na isa lang yung archetype for your personal brand or for your business na brand. It could be 2 to 3. Di ba na yun yung mga uh, focus mo na archetypes. Famous brands though, Microsoft, Mercedes-Benz, and Rolex. Ayun. So, ito yung ruler archetype. Di ba? And then the last one, last na ba to? Yeah. The last one, the creator. So, the creator, di ba? Ito yung mga content creator at mga freelancer, mga creative. So, key characteristics, very innovative, imaginative, entrepreneurial, creates things of enduring value. So, enduring value meaning long-term talaga yung mga na-create nila na things. Their strengths are very creative, visionary. So, ayun, very the same with, di ba? Very similar with, uh, ano nga yung kanina? Magician. Yan. But, they are very detailed-oriented and dedicated. Weaknesses though, they can be perceived as perfectionist. Oh, sinong ano dito? Sino yung na-trigger sa word na to? Di ba? Very perfectionist and overly critical. Di ba? May struggle with delegation. So, their workplace habits values creativity and innovation and tends to be a visionary and perfectionist. So, sino yung ito para sa akin, this is the typical freelancer, yung creator na to. Na hindi maka-start, hindi maka-pick ng market kasi gusto nila perfect kaagad. So, very perfectionist, di ba? So, business ideas, art studios, tech startups, design firms, craft breweries, di ba? Add na lang natin yung freelancing. And then the ideal brand palette, bold, vibrant colors, and metallics na colors. Thought leaders, Leonardo da Vinci, Steve Jobs. Ayun, pangalawa na ni Steve Jobs. Di ba? Uh, Creator at saka ano yung isa? Nakalimutan ko ba? Ay, pangalawa nila to, si Steve Jobs. And then famous brands, Lego, Adobe, ayan, sino yung mga gumagamit ng Adobe dito? Moleskine. So, ito yung mga characteristics ni creator archetype. So, what are the 10 different ways that you can leverage your knowledge with brand archetypes? So, here I have outlined 10 ano 10 ways para kung saan nyo magagamit yung knowledge nyo na nakuha nyo ngayon sa brand archetypes. The first one, brand identity creation. So it could consist of your vision, your mission, your value proposition, your logo, your tagline, your colors, 'di ba? Lahat about your brand identity and how you can stand out. So, 'di ba nakita natin kanina sa mga archetypes na merong mga colors diyan or merong mga um merong mga strengths and weaknesses. You can use those traits and characteristics to create the brand identity, to personify the brand identity of your business, your freelancing career, your personal brand. So that's the first one that you can apply your knowledge of brand archetypes. The second one is messaging and communication. Imagine a person, 'di ba, of this archetype talking. 'Di ba, merong mga thought leaders doon kanina. Let's say sa creator archetype, si Steve Jobs. How does he talk? 'Di ba? What is the way he structures his message? How does he communicate to his audience? Who are the other creators, 'di ba, that you think? Tayo freelancers, how do we do our messaging? How do we communicate with clients? How do we communicate with other freelancers? Ganon. 'Di ba? This is where we try to pinpoint kung ano ba yung style of voice natin. Diba? Ano ba yung emotion or feeling that we're trying to make our audience feel? So, ganun yung messaging and communication. The third one is content creation. So, ayun, what are the types of content do you see from those brand archetypes? So, if you're the caregiver archetype, siguro sa content natin is how you can reflect your motherly nature. If you're a female, di ba, na focused brand, na you're targeting mothers. So, how do you try to create content that resonates to the same archetype as your brand. Diba? So another thing pala that we should remember when we're creating a brand, it should be market driven. So your brand and your market should have similar archetypes. Ganun yung ano, ganun yung para sa akin na magagamit natin yung brand archetypes to leverage it and apply it to this yan, apply it to the outline that I have here. And then the fourth one, product development. Creating products that is intuitive, di ba, or very easy to use and very targeted to the archetype of your audience. For example, si Apple, di ba? How did they develop the product? Hindi naman siya ganun karaming mga technical features. Hindi naman siya ganun ka high-tech when it comes to the technology today. Wala siyang, noon nga, wala masyadong peripherals, di ba? Very clean looking and very, ano lang siya, very reliable. So how did they decide na hindi lagyan ng mga features na ganito? Kaya maraming haters ni Apple na ang mahal-mahal niya pero wala naman masyadong features. But because they took note of the market, 'di ba? Their audience and how it will how their audience or how their target market or users will use their product. That's why they created it as in such a way. So, one way to really know kung yung product mo is bagay sa audience mo is to use archetypes then. So, yung archetypes mo, ganito. Di ba? Yung audience mo are ganito. Dig deeper sa psychology ng audience mo and how they would use it. Are there other ways? Are there other jobs to be done sa product mo when you mix your real world data to the archetypes? Diba? So, ganon. You can use that in product development. The fifth one naman is customer engagement. Ayan, diba? So, it's quite this similar sa communication and messaging. But how do you engage with your customers, with your clients, with your audience? How do you make them feel that they are they have this feeling of community inside sa brand mo? Diba? Or how do you make them feel that they are being taken care of? How do you communicate the trust? Diba? How do you engage with them so that they will feel na reliable ka, na trustworthy ka? So, you can use archetypes with that then. Even here, the sixth one, the differentiation. Diba? There are 12 archetypes there. You can mix and match. And then, you can create your own brand that really stands out in the industry. Seventh one, marketing strategy. You tailor your message and style and your marketing implementation sa archetype mo. Kung ano ba yung where do they hang out usually? How do they get information about your brand? What is the platform that they use? 'Di ba? Yung Facebook, anong archetype ba si Facebook? Kung gusto mo mag-launch ng, let's say, if you're a coach or a course creator, if you're gonna launch a course, ano bang platform yung the best para sa iyo? 'Di ba? Based on the archetype of your audience or the archetype of your own brand. Does Facebook fit that archetype? Ano ba yung archetype niya? Do they go well together with your with your with your own archetype? Diba? Kasi some archetypes work well together, some archetypes then don't work well together. Diba? Different people, different strokes, diba? So, ganun yung application sa brand archetype, sa marketing strategy natin. Number 8, crisis management. Diba? So, when your brand is in trouble, ano ba yung strategy mo dapat? How do you manage that crisis? How do you control the damage? Do you decide na wala ka lang sasabihin? 'Di ba? Just let it go or just let it stay there. Wala kang opinion or do you apologize? 'Di ba? May official statement ka, mag-apologize ka that you were wrong or do you stand your ground na wala kang mali? 'Di ba? Usually yung tayo because we are freelancers, 'di ba? Usually yung natin gusto natin mangyari is talaga yung brand mag-apologize. 'Di ba? But merong mga archetypes na kung mag-apologize yung brand, hindi na sila babalik doon. For them, hindi they don't think of it as a show of strength, but they think of it as a show of weakness. Kasi ay talaga nagkamali sila. What's to stop them that they will do that mistake again? What's not to stop them? So merong mga taong ganyan yung thinking, 'di ba? And then siguro yung meron ding archetype na madali nilang makakalimutan yung damage or yung crisis or yung problem ng brand na yun. So the right way sana is to just don't give an opinion. Just let time heal the damage. So merong mga ganun na strategies. And you can use the archetypes to get more insight kung paano mo ba talaga i-control yung damage. Paano mo i-manage ng crisis ng brand mo. And then the ninth one, decision making. Ayun. So all of this here, from brand identity up to crisis management, it all involves decision making. And from there we can base our decision making sa archetypes then, including your real world facts and your strategy and everything that yung goals mo, yung challenges mo, 'di ba? Archetypes can really help you. Kasi nga napansin niyo ba na sometimes when there's a problem, when you help that person, ikaw pa yung masama. Kasi nga hindi pala ganun yung help na gusto niya. Diba? Hindi pala solution yung gusto niya lang ng listening ear. So sometimes we decide based on the archetype that we're dealing with. So ganun yung pwede natin ganun yung way na pwede natin magagamit yung brand archetype. The 10th way naman is employee alignment or team alignment or delegation. Basta everything about team management. What are the different archetypes of your team? Diba? How do you praise them? How do you scold them? Diba? In a way na hindi bababa yung productivity niya or hindi mawala yung motivation niya. Sometimes, diba? Like for example, I've seen this sa mga gyms, like yung mga coaches ng gym, yung mga sinong gymmers dito, diba? So some people there can be motivated through yung insults, yung ang hina mo, ano ka ba, di mo kaya yan, yung mga ganun, nakaka-motivate yan to other people. But some people then are not motivated by that. So rather, some coaches, they do it the loving way. Oh, kaya mo yan. Yes, try to do it. One last na lang. So if hindi nila kaya, so it's very different, diba? Yung mga archetypes. So dapat different din yung treatment mo sa different employees mo or different team members mo. It's not that you're biased. It's just that you're trying to how do you say this? You're trying to empathize with who they are and what their personalities are and adjust and adapt based on the feedback that you get. And another way then is when you hire. Diba? When you hire, if ayaw mo yung ganun na iba-iba talaga yung treatment mo sa employee mo, then you would want to hire people whose archetypes are the same sa archetype ng brand mo. So that isa lang yung approach mo and everyone is moving the same or similar. Diba? So ganun. Those are the ways that you can leverage your knowledge on brand archetypes and apply it to the different sectors in brand and marketing, client management, and other sectors in the business and brand building para you can create a successful brand, personal brand or business brand. So ayun. So ayun, how these archetypes will help your brand will really differentiate how you will be able to stand out sa current industry mo o sa current market mo. So one example is ako talaga when it comes to brand archetypes, sa akin talaga Apple is the best example. Kasi sa lahat ng 'to, yung mga 10 um, different ways to leverage your knowledge of brand archetypes, they applied this. Para sa akin lang, the way I see it, they really applied um, user psychology, yung customer and audience psychology. They used archetypes. I'm sure they used archetypes sa marketing nila, sa website nila, how they designed it, 'di ba? And other stuff na ginagawa nila, even their products, 'di ba? Yung iPhone nila, how they are able to create a cult, 'di ba? Of users and buyers para sa brand nila. How they created the loyalty of this audience and of this customer base. Yeah, because para sa kanila, um, it's much more uh, parang much more valuable yung experience instead of features. So ayun. And archetypes will help you do the same. So yeah, ito one quote pala that I wanna leave with you here is the central problem of brand building is getting a complex organization to execute a simple idea. So ayun, very complex, di ba? And how do you navigate through that complex organization? For me, one of the ways is brand archetypes. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung team management, client management, 'di ba? If you know who you're dealing with, 'di ba? If you know the tendencies, the traits, the characteristics, personalities of your audience, of your team members, of everyone you're dealing with in your industry, then you can execute much seamlessly without effort with with very minimal effort and very simple lang lahat. 'Di ba? Hindi siya forced. So, ayan. For me, brand archetypes will help you. Kasi dun magsa-start eh. Ever since history, di ba, na-mention ko yung gods kanina. Those are archetypes in literature. Si Zeus, anong archetype ba siya? Di ba? Si Aphrodite, anong archetype? Ayun, may idea na kayo, di ba? Di ba? Ilan ba yung gods? Sa ano? Sa Greek mythology, sa Roman mythology. Ayun, ilan ba yung archetypes? So, yun, di ba? So, yeah, I guess we're done with the lecture. Let's start with answering questions. Sige. First one, kanina, kay Jen. Paano po na magagamit na yung better yung brand archetype sa branding and marketing? Ayun, I just mentioned a while ago, 'di ba, yung how we can use brand archetypes. There are 10 different ways there. Which specific way pala sa'yo, Jen, yung parang gusto mong you can better yung brand archetype? How are you using it right now? Can you shed some light, Jen? Pwede ka mag-open mic, ha?
Actually, coach, ako po, ginagamit ko po siya sa messaging, tapos po the way I communicate my designs po. Though hindi po siya di po ako masyadong nagsho-show up pa sa social media, pero I really, para nag-resonate po sa akin yung, since ano po ako eh, every man,
Mhm.
sage, and yung creator, yun po yung nag-resonate po sa akin yun. And na-realize ko po na nagagamit ko naman na po pala siya when it comes to communicating my my brand as Jennifer, yun po sa
Ayun.
audience ko.
So, personal brand pala yung
Opo,
parang
personal
bini-build
brand.
mo ngayon. Ayan, nice,
Opo.
nice. Sige, so were we able sa session na 'to, were we able to answer yung question mo?
Yes coach, ano po, nakita ko po yung other side kasi po ang alam po messaging and then sa design, pero aside po doon, meron pa po baka ako kasi siyempre po, we see archetypes as something na parang they're really useful daw, pero ang alam ko lang po kasi is pang-messaging lang siya ta's pang-design. Saan pa siya
Mm,
puwedeng magamit? And then upon hearing po yung sinabi niyo po kanina, that's very insightful. So, thank you, coach.
ayun, yeah. Thanks for that, Jen, ha. For everyone here na meron kayong mga insights or takeaways after this session, after this live stream, you can post it sa group para din naman you can share your own knowledge and takeaways. Kasi yung iba hindi ano eh, hindi sila available at this time. So, ayun. Any other questions, guys, na gusto niyo i-ano, i-ask about the brand archetypes? Ange, ayan si Ange. Coach, di ko kilala yung ibang brands, so sometimes it's hard for me to visualize and differentiate brand archetypes when applied to brands. Pwede kaya magbigay ng example of a local brand to the archetypes, like Angkas for Jester? Ayun, you just gave an example, di ba, sa Jester is Angkas. Sa local, ganito na lang, Ange. Give me a local brand, tapos let's try to see kung anong archetype siya. Ano ba yung, ano? Ay, ikaw, ano ba yung archetype mo? And I can give a brand siguro. You can open your mic, Ange. Okay lang.
Yes po. Outlaw po yung sa akin. At yung tatlo, explorer, outlaw, tsaka magician.
Mm. Sige, so kung outlaw, local brand na outlaw, wala ako masyadong ano eh. Yung alam ko na local brand outlaw, not so much. But really more on, sa akin Patagonia, yung sinusuot ko, very outlaw. Pero if you can search, isang client ko is kind of outlaw. They are called Mindanao Coffee Roastery. Habagat, not much. Yung Habagat is more on explorer. Si Habagat, hindi siya outlaw. Kasi wala siyang ano eh, wala siyang pinaglalaban. The outlaw is like a combination of hero and explorer. Diba? So, explorer for, ayun. Diba? So, ano nga yan, Ange? Outlaw, at saka,
Magician, tsaka explorer.
ayun. Magician, yung ano siguro, yung ano nga yung sikat na theme park dyan, sa ano, sa Luzon. Ano nga yan?
Star City?
Star City, yeah. Ayun, diba? Yun yung mga magician eh. And, yeah, Enchanted, Enchanted Kingdom. Parang Disney pa rin, no? So, yeah, I'm not really much on the local brands, but yun nga, somehow Enchanted Kingdom, Star City, yung mga ganun, yung mga local theme parks, ganun yung mga ano eh, magician eh. Because magician mismo, yung mga, sino ba yung mga sikat na magician na makikita natin sa ano, sa Pilipinas Got Talent or sa mga shows, 'di ba? So, they are the magician talaga na ano. Bello is lover. Some, maybe, hindi sila magician kasi sa nakikita ko, the way they advertise their stuff in social media or in TV, parang more on ano sila eh, lover talaga. Si Rosmar, si Rosmar, ano ba si Rosmar? Hindi ako familiar kay Rosmar na alam ko lang yung about sa mga bashers niya. But she's quite, ano ba siya? Yeah, I think Jester. Oo, Jester din si Rosmar. Usually yung mga ano, yung mga content creator, they're Jester. Yeah. Going back pala sa'yo, Ange. Outlaw, Explorer, ano yung isa? Magician, tama ba?
Magician, coach. Opo.
Yeah. So yung Explorer naman, ayun, Habagat, sabi nga ni ano, ni Cyril. And other unknown pa na mga local brands like, para sa akin, I have a client, si Point, that's an Explorer archetype. They're a fitness brand. They're an outdoor brand that focuses on trail runners. Sa akin, another client I have is Mindanao Coffee Roastery. Ito, outlaw sila eh, rebel sila kasi they want to change how coffee farming and coffee distribution is treated here in the Philippines. Kasi alam na natin, merong mga exploitation when it comes to farmers, especially coffee farmers. So, yan, outlaw. With that sense, because of what I see sa website nila and the way I did their strategy for them, very outlaw and rebel talaga sila. So, yun. Those are some of the local brands that I know. Kasi local yung mga clients ko. Ayun. Any others na ano? Yung kay Jules pala, Jules, hello Jules, nandito ka pala. Yung ano nga yung brand na bago mo lang na lunch? Lamia Oink? Yun ba? Hindi, yung tagline yan eh. MJ Lechon ba yun? Tama ba? Yeah, MJ Lechon. Yeah, very
Yes,
jester,
yes.
no? Very jester yung yung style nila.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Oo.
meron pa, can you shed some light pa? Meron pa bang ibang archetype yun? Aside from jester?
Ano pa ba?
Regular guy siguro, no?
Ano yung coach? Sorry,
Reg-
wow. Nag-work ako while
okay.
nag-listen sa kanya.
We're just trying to
Medyo,
figure out kung ano pa yung other archetypes ni MJ Lechon. Kasi si MJ
okay.
Lechon, very jester, and I think regular guy din siya.
Yes.
Oh,
And
no?
everyone as well. Everyone. Parang ganun yan. Ay,
Yeah, every man, yeah. Every man.
everyone, everyone. Yeah.
Oh, tama, tama. Yeah, tama. Yeah. Thanks, Jules, ah. Sige,
Sure.
SM. Anong SM? Shezad Reman. Ano tong SM? Ano yung archetype niya? SM is very everyman din. Regular guy or girl. And ano pa ba? Yeah, I think they're very focused sa doon na na archetype. Wala akong masyadong nakikitang other archetype from them. Siguro, yeah, I think that's it. Kasi kahit nga yung buildings nila, there's nothing unique or something. So, yun. Joanna has a question here. I am currently creating my personal brand coach, Dave, and my archetype is Explorer and Outlaw. In terms of application po, paano po ayalan yung personal brand sa archetype ko? Super beginner pa ako sa paggawa ng brand strategy. I'm using the Ayun. Joanna, kasi Explorer and Outlaw ka, in terms of application, this is the first thing that I think I could advise you to do. Based on sa description and traits, personalities ni Explorer and Outlaw, find personal brands na ganun sila, na Explorer and Outlaw. And then, try to see their content, try to see their products, diba? Try to see yung lahat ng profile nila. And i-separate mo ano yung nagustuhan mo, ano yung hindi mo nagustuhan. Or maybe wag mo nang pansinin yung hindi mo nagustuhan about them. Focus ka lang sa ano yung nagustuhan mo and compare it to who you want to be, what your personal who or what your personal brand should be. Compare it to what you like about those personal brands na Explorer and Outlaw sila. And then from there, mix and match ka kung eto, I'll try to copy this. I'll try to put this in my own personal brand then. Pero sa akin, mag-a-add ako ng ganito. So ganun ako mag-work eh. So don't worry about copying or yeah. Kasi nga sabi nila, when you copy from one person, that's stealing. But when you're copying from 100 or 1,000 person, that's being original. That's being an artist. Still like an artist. Basahin yung libro na yan. Yung still like an artist. Yun pa yung title. Teka lang nga. Still like an artist. Ayun nga. Still like an artist. When you copy from a lot of people, yung kasi personal brand, di ba? Copyin mo lahat mga Explorer and Outlaw archetype na personal brand. Kung ano yung gusto mo from them. Copy that and you become original. Okay lang ba, Joanna? Yan. Kaya pala, okay lang magnanakaw, sabi ni Bingbong. Yan, iba yan. Hindi na yan, hindi na yan artist. Ayun. Anong archetype ko? Nasabi ko kanina, di ba, na ako, sage. So I'm actually a sage archetype kasi I love to collect knowledge and I'm very analytical. That's why I created my own core formula, my brand building system. So yun. And then I'm also a rebel archetype kasi sa akin talaga, I'm not satisfied on how businesses are being run or built dito sa Pilipinas. Diba? I'm not, kasi para sa akin, I want to create more jobs. Yun yung sa noon pa. I want to create more jobs here in the Philippines. But in order to create more jobs sa Philippines, I need to create more successful brands kasi or mga businesses. Kasi yun sila mo yung nag-create ng jobs eh. So, yeah. I'm a rebel archetype and at the same time, ano yung third archetype ko? Hero. Yeah, hero archetype. Di naman sa parang hero talaga ako but for me, I'm more of a done versus perfect na tao eh. So, all might. So, para sa akin, I just want to consistently take action. Na-learn ko din to sa tribe. The tribe actually molded me to become a hero archetype. Aside from the other archetypes that I am. Na talagang take action talaga. Take action. Ayan. So, yun yung mga archetypes ko. And si Jules, my question, what is your core services, coach? Core services ko, first one is brand strategy. The second one is brand identity. And then third one is hindi. Brand strategy pala. Second one is the third one is funnels. Sales and marketing funnels. Bali brand application of brand marketing. Yeah, core. Core formula. Tama. May value ladder ako. Send ko na lang sa'yo. Charot. So, ayun. Yeah. Anyone else has a questions, guys? Has a question. Has questions pala. Anyone has questions? Sino pa yung hindi nasalita dito? Si Thea, si Janine, si Rika, si Brian. Yeah. Any question from you guys? Or take
No question.
Ayan, Thea. Sige, Thea. What's your... No question? Walang question? Tama ba yung narinig ko? No question ba sinabi mo, Thea?
Opo.
Oh, sorry. Alright, how about you, Rika? May question ka?
No question po.
Ayan. Brian. Gandang picture ni Brian, ah. Galing. On commute. Okay, sige. Well, if wala na kayong questions, so I think it's it's good to end na this live stream. Ay, hindi live stream pala. This presentation. But yeah, for those people pala na hindi pa naka-join, diba, or na-invite lang kayo dito to join this parang podcast presentation, live podcast, live stream. So just scan the QR code so that you can join our community of purpose-driven freelancers and business owners. And how we do that is through branding. Diba? Kasi nga, sabi ni Alex Hormozy, charot, branding is more important than everything else in your business. So, yun. If you could also invite more people that you think would get yung parang matutulungan sila sa community, diba? Try to invite them in the community, try to let them know that there's a community that can help them with their branding, with their marketing, and how to systematically do it so that hindi sila masyadong overwhelmed or wala masyadong overthinking on their side. So, ayun guys, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon again next time. Bye guys.